So where are we going for this weekend?
So we're off for another one of those little just weekends away, farm stay. We haven't done one for a while, things have just been pretty hectic. But we're heading to a little place just out of Warwick called the Condamine River Caravan and Camping Ground. So never been there before. Booked it on Wednesday, and now we've got smashed with some pretty ordinary weather the last couple of days. So we did double check with them to see that it was still accessible. They said they'd ring us back if there was any issues, and we haven't heard from them. So we're surmising that everything is okay. So we've headed off. It's about 2 hours, a bit over 2 hours out of Brisbane. We head up over Cunningham's Gap, which is sort of another way that you can get up over the Great Dividing Range. There's the Toowoomba Range out here, and also Cunningham's Gap, which basically, once you get up through the gap, it's only a few k's to Warwick itself. Quite a pretty drive. There's a lot of wind about today and a few fires, so it's quite misty and smoky and cloudy, and visibility's not that brilliant. But still, it's a weekend away. As I said, we've been smashed with a bit of ordinary weather. The last few days, storms, rain, a considerable amount of rain. So it'll be a bit damp underfoot, but everything you can see already, everything's starting to green up nicely. It doesn't take long out here this time of the year. If you like these little weekends away, just drop us a comment. You know, we get pretty excited about our big trips, but weekends pretty exciting as well. So yeah, if you dislike these sort of little weekend aways, drop us a comment, let us know. We're open to suggestions as well. So we just we're gradually working our way through. This is a hip camps.
Yes.
Yeah, this one we found on hip camps. So we'll go and share what we can, as I said, and we'll go from there. Now's the decision where to set up camp. bloody beautiful. Look at this.
Yeah, I know. It's
The Condamine River, I take it.
it is the Condamine River.
Yeah,
Right
that's
there.
through there.
Yeah,
Through that way.
I know.
It's going to fall over someday, isn't it?
Well, you'd think so.
Here we are at the Condamine River Caravan and Camping Ground. What an awesome spot. They really looked after this place. It's all been slashed. They've actually got fencing to keep the cattle out of the camp area so you don't have to dodge big landmines. The river's really cool. You can actually see where it sort of gets up to when it floods. So we'll shoot a little bit of that footage and show you that as well. I guess the next thing is to get set up, and it's bloody beer o'clock. See you soon.
What are you doing, John?
Chopping up garlic, Liz.
What's garlic for, John?
Garlic is for my medieval sauce. Problem is, at the moment, the bloody wind is blowing everywhere. It's supposed to have stopped. Packet pasta.
What's the pasta we're having?
It is.
Yum, yum. Beautiful. Yeah, look, when you're away and camping, sometimes you just got to do that. Gotta give you good spurs. That's asparagus. That's what it does. Shame on the ground, isn't it, Liz? It is.
That is the final result. Yum-o.
this world of hunger, war, and strife. We can together, all included, build a better life. This bridge is made of hope. Side by side, hope. This bridge is made of hope. Side by side,
With a 2-day break, we head off to explore the area. Again, so many times that we've passed through this area without taking the time to enjoy what it has to offer. Today we're going to head towards Lake Leslie. The Leslie Dam is situated approximately 12 kilometres west of Warwick, so it's not long and we find ourselves amongst this expanse of water. The dam was named after Patrick Leslie. Born in 1815, died in 1881. He was a pioneer pastoralist of the Darling Downs. We follow the track down to the water. This looks like the day use area. The track follows the edge of the lake, branching off, I would suggest, for places where people have launched their boats. There is a recreational area on the eastern side of the dam. It's owned and managed by the local council. There's also privately owned and operated camping and accommodation available in the designated camping area.
Well, that person's going to have a battle with his kayak.
Plenty of exercise.
Yeah.
It is able to be utilised for many recreational purposes. The water activities include swimming, kayaking and sailing. Fishing is permitted, provided you have a stocked impoundment permit.
Right opposite your caravan park, I'd say. So I'd say that's it there. It's Kiwi Park. You're up my way.
Oh, which way are we going? Round that way? Following the track, we turn right and head back towards the main road as we approach the camping area, and we'll make our way towards the dam. Well, here we are at the Leslie Dam. It was built between 1963 and 1965. In 1985, the dam was extended, increasing the capacity by 100%. The dam's highest level was reached on the 12th of September 1988, when the waters in the dam peaked at 20 centimetres above the spillway. The next highest level was 13 centimetres above the spillway on May 28, 1990. And on the 11th of February 1995, the dam reached its lowest level ever of 3%. On the night of January the 5th, 2011, the dam spilled for the first time in more than 2 decades. All 7 floodgates were opened. The resulting high waters in Sandy Creek closed the Cunningham highways and flowed across. The following day, Sunwater reduced the release rate after requests by Warwick's Mayor. In 1840, the Leslie brothers, led by Patrick Leslie, settled a large area of land around the Condamine River and its tributaries. These sculptures acknowledge the contribution of Patrick and his wife Kate to the early development of Warwick and the district. These incredible sculptures are carved in natural granite. It would have been a massive undertaking by Vernon Foss, the sculptor. An interesting piece of information, Kate was the daughter of Hannibal and Anna Marie McCarthy, the McCarthy family being famous pioneers of Australia and developing the merino breed of sheep.
So where are we going to now, John?
Well, Liz, we're going to go and catch up with some old friends that actually introduced us to all this. So it'll be really nice to catch up. I used to live in Tenterfield, but now moved to Warwick. So we're talking about Bob and Marion that used to run and operate Brisbane hinterland four-wheel drives. When we came to Brisbane first up, we'd done a bit of stuff in Tasmania and bush tracks and things like that, but a great way to get started was to do a couple of tag-alongs. So that's what we ended up doing, and we did it with them. And they say those sort of things, you end up with friendships for life, and that's ultimately what's happened here. So we're going to catch up, have a cup of tea, and chew the fat a little way. Warwick. This place is steeped in history, from the banks of the Condamine River and the story of Tiddalik the frog that drank all the water, to its old buildings including St Mary's Catholic Church. The 1870s were boom years for this new town. In 1871 the Southern Railway line reached Warwick. A brewery was built in 1873. Then a cooperative flour mill and brickworks were completed during 1874. I guess we hear that saying about the country survived on a sheep's back. This place would have been a large part of that. On the 29th of November 1917, there was an incident in Warwick which would lead to the formation of the Australian Commonwealth Police, with the first commissioner appointed 8 days later. As Prime Minister William Morris Hughes was addressing a crowd at the Warwick railway station, a man in the crowd threw an egg, dislodging the Prime Minister's hat. Hughes ordered his arrest, but the Queensland state policeman present refused to carry out the orders, saying that Hughes had no authority over him. Well, what a full day. We nestle around a fire trying to take some refuge from this persistent wind. Bring on tomorrow. We're going to go in the opposite direction on what they call the Settlers Route. Beautiful. Whilst we sit in this place of serenity and enjoy our breakfast, mowed grass at our feet and the river gently flowing past, we watch as the world goes by and nature continues on its merry way. Mothers and fathers tend their young, while the local bully steals food from someone's home. What the... So we're just discovering the murals in Warwick after being to the information centre to gather some intel on some other things that we can do. So yeah, we're just having a bit of a wander around. We'll go over and have a look at these, the birds in flight it's called. The route travels through beautiful farmland and historic villages in the foothills of the main range. This area was part of Canning Down Station. Remember the Leslie brothers? The route crisscrosses the old Warwick to Killarney Railway, which was established in 1884 and was finally decommissioned in 1964. Here we are at our first stop at Killarney on the Settlers Route. Once you leave Warwick, you travel to picturesque Killarney, which was originally the most southeastern portion of Canning Downs. Its history, well, we could spend hours here, and we did. A trip to these little towns would not be complete without a visit to the local art gallery.
I remember those classes. Yeah. Oh, there you go. It's like, oh, you remember these? Those used to got that.
Come all you young rounders, and a story I'll tell of the promise of heaven and the warning of hell. But take heed where you ramble, or too soon you will go way up on the
There's a house with damage to the roof.
where the new flowers grow.
It got smashed in 1965. The town was destroyed by a storm.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's in that garden. There's that garden bed of the Canning Park.
Yes.
There was a monument. Yeah, I think it was 1960. I can't remember 1965 or 1968. Got 22nd of November. Got smashed by an horrendous storm.
Wow.
Destroyed the town. They're talking about the town's resilience.
Must have been a huge storm.
It's been a big storm. You can see them coming, like.
Well, it's fairly flat here, so
Then it was on to Emu Vale. This was the site of the old sheep station and outstation of Canning Downs. Tanamori is the next township, which grew up around a sawmill which milled cedar, hoop pine, silky oak and mahogany in the early 1870s.
hoop pines, which is what they used to harvest forest.
The Tanimoro coal mine was established at Mount Collier in the 1890s and continued until 1967. By this stage, there was a rumble in the belly, so we stopped for refreshment and lunch at Yangon. Yangon lies in the Swan Falls Valley. The Yangon area was first documented by explorer Alan Cunningham in 1827, who commented on the sandstone which is still quarried here today. The beautiful restored buildings reflect the glory of a bygone era.
Always knows of its praise, and her father's old pistol hanging loose by her side. When she aimed once, she never shot twice. Well, the air was so still, and the sky was so blue. Before she could see them, the laughter she knew.
A couple of beers and a history lesson of the area, plus some tips for our trip back to camp. Gotta love these outback pubs.
There was three on the hillside.
After leaving Yangon village, we turn into Swanfells Road. This journey takes us through a patchwork of ploughed fields, lucerne and sorghum. The barman tells us it looks pretty special with the sunflowers in summer. It's an interesting drive as there is a unique rock in the middle of the road, just a little further down the track. A quick stop to check this out, and it's time to head back to camp.
Going to make a dried fruit damper. 2 cups of self-raising flour. Bit of salt. Bit of butter. Now I'm going to rub it together. Alright, let's leave it at that for a moment.
So that's the milk and the lemonade.
Yes, add it to it. I'll add some sultanas. Some apricots. And a banana. It's a bit soft, that one. Just going to mix all this in. Might need to add a little bit more lemonade. You don't want it to be too sticky, but you don't want it to be too dry either.
Last time we made one of these was 2009.
That's right.
In the middle of the Simpson Desert.
One day. Put some flour on the bottom.
Mama Bear takes off to explore the upper and lower reaches of the creek. A crisis avoided. Cool, clear and clean. The water curves and flows, frothing and bubbling over waterfalls and weirs until it makes its way through the open fields and paddocks, around boulders and trees until it reaches the ocean sea. Look at this weather. Unbelievable. Second time we've been here, and you would have thought it's November in Warwick, Queensland. We should be in bathers and blueies. Instead, jeans, jackets, hats, waiting for it to rain. Come on, Queensland, where's our weather?
You can't go too far up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a rock wall and rapids.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, worth going up to. Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
What do we think?
You can taste the banana in it.
Yep.
Nice.
Dad'll have to brush his
What do you
shirt
think? Nice.
That's right. Good work. Really. Completed project. Thanks for joining us as we discover some more property owners that have allowed us access to some of the best riverfront camping available. If you've enjoyed this video, help us out by hitting that like button. It does help. And as always, any questions, just pop them in the comments. If you want to stick around, I have a 4-minute review on our Life Do fire pit that we use. Cheers, until next time. Life Do fire pit review time. Yeah, it's been 6 months. When we first did a little review, some of you would have seen it on Chasing Sunsets episode 4, I think. We're at the Keep River National Park and we actually got to do a little review on it. We were so impressed at that point. And look, honestly, nothing has changed. There is a little bit of good, there is a little bit of bad in this time, but overall, the thing's a champion. So what we didn't get a chance to do was actually show you how it all goes together. You'll see it sitting here. Basically, this is what it's like when it comes out of the bag. So it's only, what, 10, 12 mil thick. And surprisingly, you've got 2 sides, 2 ends, and you probably can't see in the camera, but there's a fair bit of distortion in these, but they still go back together. They still come apart, they still come back together, or go back together. So you've got 2 sides, a grill that sits in the bottom of them, which actually allows that air to flow and gives you fire base. And then you've got your two ends. Now what I normally would do is grab one end and the side, you've got 2 positions you can put it in. One of them is for heat beads, so it actually gives it quite a shallow angle, and the other one is when you use it as a fire pit. And we usually mainly use it for fire pits. We do cook on a little bit, but so that goes in there and it actually locks in so it can't come out. Do the same on the other side. Goes in the slot, and you can see as distorted as it is from the fires that we've had in it, it still hooks up, which is really, really good. Then you've got to do the same on the other side. Done. So now it's locked in. You insert the little grill, goes into the base, or the base that goes in, and there you have it. So there it is, all put together. It is a cracker, you know, like as we suggested, the other one that they did supply us the early model of these, and it wasn't all that good. Well, it was, but it just smoked terribly because it didn't vent. Some feedback to them, and they've certainly solved that problem. It's easy, it's convenient, it's light, and look, we absolutely love it. So if you're in the market for a little transportable fire pit, certainly have a look at these.